What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brandon, back again with another episode, and today we are talking about the long-awaited Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is a game that I could not wait for, and on day one, I booted up this game, and we went right into it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I've been playing non-stop. I had to do everything in this game before I could even touch the review process, and I did everything 100%, got all the achievements on Steam, and I'm ready to talk about this awesome game. Initially, when this game was announced, they said it's a Tenkaichi 4. That is a huge deal for us Dragon Ball fans. We've been waiting for this game for what feels like a literal eternity. This is like the Half-Life 3 of Dragon Ball games. We've been waiting so long, and I have two of my favorite Dragon Ball Z games here, which are Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I played the ever-loving crap out of this game on the PS2, and then recently, within the last 4 or 5 years, I finally got my own copy of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and this was for the Wii. I got this during the pandemic. I did everything. I got all the characters. I had so much fun playing this game, even with the motion controls. And then I ended up buying the classic controller so I could play it like a PlayStation controller. Anyway, this franchise is incredible. And outside of the Tenkaichi, the Budokai Tenkaichi series, there's been a plethora of other really good Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball Fighters, there was Dragon Ball Kakarot, and then there's also a lot of other games that were rough. But the Budokai series, and then evolved into the Budokai Tenkaichi series, is huge. And we finally have a true return to form, which is Tenkaichi 4, but in the form of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Let's go ahead and talk about this crazy game. One of the most influential pieces of media I've seen at a young age was the legendary Dragon Ball Z. I'll never forget running home from first grade in 2001 to turn on the TV and catch Dragon Ball Z after school. 23 years later, these characters and stories have expanded and grown even further, from Dragon Ball Z to GT, and then the official canon sequel, Dragon Ball Super, which was incredible to witness, as Super was just straight up fan service for Dragon Ball fans, where it felt like each episode and character arc was more significant than the next. Naturally, Dragon Ball had a wide array of video games spanning generations of consoles, from incredible to outright terrible. The standout game for Dragon Ball as a consensus was Dragon Ball Z Budokai, which started the fanfare and reverence for a great Dragon Ball experience on console. From there, the Budokai series would get many sequels and eventually evolve into the Tenkaichi series, which they allowed the player to freely fight in an open battleground and get closer and closer to playing a Dragon Ball experience from the anime. The dream for many fans, after years of gaps of waiting for the next entry in the Tenkaichi series, was a long wait. Between Tenkaichi 4, we've had some incredible and new genre-defining fighting games, experiences just like Dragon Ball Fighter, where they Marvel vs. Capcom Dragon Ball. Then there was the great story-driven Dragon Ball Kakarot. Before those two, we were in the trenches with years and years of games that got close to what I wanted, but only just truly hit the mark now. March 2023, it was officially unveiled that the wished-upon Tenkaichi 4 was finally happening, as it was now in development, and then would later be announced formally as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Outside of the official reveal trailer of the game, I tried to steer clear of any information on this game. I wanted to go in as blind as possible. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero promised a massive roster, a return to form of what we have all wanted, and that excellent Budokai Tenkaichi proper gameplay. October 2024, the game was officially released, and since then, I've been consumed by this game, not stopping to write this review until I got 100% in the game. Sparking Zero was a dream come true for me. This game basically consumed all of my time for the last month, whether it was playing the episodic modes where you follow a given character and progress through the story from their perspective. I had a blast. What was incredible about Sparking Zero's episode and story mode was the what if scenarios, where they were fully voiced alternate paths of where the story went outside of canon. The what ifs were so exciting as I had no idea what to expect when I first came across them. However, they impressed me even further with the voice acting and the writing of the what ifs, which were interesting enough to capture my attention on what alternate path they would take. Sparking Zero has a plethora of modes, from standard 1v1 battles, team battles, tournaments, the story character episodes, and custom battles, where you can create any Dragon Ball story you would want with the assets in the game with custom text. And it was wild, but such an incredible and frankly endless option for Dragon Ball fans. When the conversation of Dragon Ball comes up, I'm always transported back to being a kid and obsessing over the franchise's forms, characters, and the over-the-top incredible action, creating iconic legendary moments that would stay with me forever. To this day, the Cell Saga is the defining moment for me in Dragon Ball, where the stakes were at their highest and the character arcs culminated in an impactful moment of the father-son Kamehameha, where Gohan defeats Cell with the help of Goku from beyond. Simply incredible. Booting up Sparking Zero and diving into the gameplay, it was wearing all of its inspirations from the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Dragon Ball FighterZ influenced this game in terms of presentation as well. They stay faithful with incredible attention to detail with the performance and showcasing key moments as special attacks down to the finest detail. It's quite a sight to see as a fan. I've often caught myself getting chills just by the initial delivery of the lines and special moves. Dragon Ball is a funny series for me in the sense of what you expect to see in a Dragon Ball game you will most likely get. We see the story we all know, usually represented over again. We see the same characters and come back time and time again to return to the series simply because of the stories and the characters. As I said at the top, Dragon Ball is an essential series for many people. We keep coming back because we love the stories of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and so on. We expect to see the same thing, but we've practically been begging for a proper return to the Tenkaichi series, and we got it finally with Sparking Zero. My favorite thing about Sparking Zero is that it is the first Dragon Ball game that finally covers everything from the narrative of Z into Super, and it's great to play the newer stories that have happened post Z, which I was hoping Kakarot would cover, but they never truly did. In conclusion, Sparking Zero is a love letter to Dragon Ball fans. The combat is more refined and the presentation is out of control, making this game a dream come true for many fans who have been asking for a return to form of the Tenkaichi series. When I played a few of the recent Dragon Ball games such as Xenoverse, FighterZ, and Kakarot, it always felt like we were building up to the inevitable return to something like Sparking Zero. After all these years, our hopes and dreams have finally been answered. Sparking Zero feels like I picked up right where I left off in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with just tighter controls and a fresh coat of paint. And that's the best praise I can give to a game like this. Sparking Zero isn't perfect by any stretch, with weird what-if objectives and character episodes being separate, strange menu layouts, and more, but what is here is excellent. Sparking Zero takes inspiration from the recent games, anime, and fanfare of the Dragon Ball series. It showcases it extensively through this long sought after game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And that's it for this episode today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was a game that I could not put down. This was so much fun, and seeing all of the crazy animations, the character dialogue, just playing games with friends and family. Oh my god, this game delivered in every way. I think there is a bright future for this game as well, with crazy DLC packs. I can only imagine. I purchased the season pass because I want to get all the characters. I know Gamma 1 and 2 and superhero DLCs coming. We're getting Daima DLC. I think there's a lot that we can get from this game. If we look at Xenoverse or Xenoverse 2 and we see how much DLC is in that game, and I think that game came out in like 2016, 2018, something like that for Xenoverse 2, and it's still getting supported to this day. I think Sparking Zero is going to have a long shelf life, and for us Dragon Ball fans, that is a huge deal because This game is truly something special. It is everything I wanted in a Tenkaichi 4, and we got it in Sparking Zero. I think there's a couple of things that really could be ironed out, such as the character episodes. I liked them, but ultimately I found a lot of the objectives to get the what if path going pretty annoying. I was very frustrated with some paths, but overall, the gameplay, the characters, the playable roster, the presentation of this game is phenomenal. And I think even Sean Schemmel said himself that he had so much fun to see Sparking Zero as a fan's perspective. You could really tell that everybody involved in this game really put in their all in terms of voice acting and everything, as some of the interactions and character dialogue felt like I was hearing them for the very first time. Nothing beats seeing the screams and the crazy character arcs come to life, and it feels like I'm seeing it for the very first time. And that's all thanks to this wonderful game, which is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So please let me know in the comments down below if you have played Sparking Zero. Are you interested in it? What is your favorite classic Dragon Ball game? Like I said, here's some of mine that I have physically still. And I love Dragon Ball. Let me know your favorite Dragon Ball character. It can go from anywhere. I love this series. I love the anime. I love everything about it. And I really cannot wait to see a continuation of Super. I'm really enjoying Daima right now, which is a great in-between anime between Z and Super. But I'm ready to see the future of Dragon Ball Super and where that goes from here. But again, please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this video. What is your favorite Dragon Ball character? What do you think about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? As always, my name is Brandon, and I will see you all next time.